Okay, are you guys ready to go into the realm of the obscure? Because I have one for you today. Welcome to another episode of Superhero Deep Dive. I am your host, Jason, and I have a good one today. It's a good one. This one was a request by watcher fan Anton. So thank you, Anton. Let me get my normal disclaimers out of the way and we will get into it, because this one took some digging and I definitely followed the disclaimer on this. So the information is pulled from different sources across the internet and may or may not be completely complete, but they do give a really good insight on the current superhero. As always, if you guys have any questions, comments, critiques, requests for future episodes, please let me know. You can reach out to me on YouTube under Superhero Deep Dive. I post videos every Tuesday. I've been doing video shorts with superhero memes every day. And for the next 4 or 5 Fridays at least, I've got special bonus videos lined up. So get on that under Superhero Deep Dive. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. You can catch me on Twitter and Instagram under Super Deep Dive, and I always use the hashtag Superhero Deep Dive as well. You can catch me every Tuesday and Thursday on Outworld Fleet Radio, and their website is www.un-con-ventional.com/radio. And like I said, that's Tuesday and Thursdays throughout the day. And you can email me directly if you'd like at B4itall, so B4itall@yahoo.com. Okay, I think those are my normal disclaimers. All that's out of the way. So, anyway, viewer, fan, dear friend of the show, as I quote my Friends with Benefits podcast friends, dear friend of the show, Anton, sent me a message and wanted me to cover an Marvel Ultimates comics character. So this is from the Ultimate Universe, called Hawk Owl. Hawk Owl. Not Hawkeye, not Night Owl, not Nighthawk. Hawk Owl. Never heard of him. Didn't really get into the Ultimates line of comics. It just wasn't for me at the time. But I have a lot of respect for it. This is a character. His real name is Jack Danner. Like I said, he was created in the pages of Ultimate Adventures. And Hawk Owl assembles many of the familiar pieces from the Batman mythos and gives them a little twist to create a unique character. So, like Batman, like Bruce Wayne, Jack Danner's family did tragically die when he was young. But this was as a result of random accidents rather than the criminal element. Let's see here. He did train around the world to become a master martial artist, just like Batman. But his decision to become the vigilante Hawk Owl was more of a consequence of his leftist politics rather than a personal vendetta against the criminal underworld. Now, with that being said, this is not, I repeat, this is not a political commentary. I can't stress that enough. I don't care what side of the fence you're on politically. As long as you're listening to the show, I'm good with you. That's none of my business. So, and just like, yeah. So when I see leftists, when I see right wing, when I see any kind of political things in the description, I immediately get up in arms because I don't want this to be polarizing. So this is not a political thing. This is from the information I pulled, and I was able to find like maybe 3 or 4 solid websites with information that I pulled stuff from. Okay, so Jack Danner grew up as a son of privilege, so he came from a pretty good family. Nothing seemed to faze him, including the death of his brother in a gardening accident, which from what I understand, he ended up, I think it was a shovel or something, bashed his brains in. Or he lost his parents due to his father's drunken driving. So at least that's the story. There's also been plot elements out there that have suggested that he was murdered, like they were murdered, and made it look like drunk driving. But either way, the official story is father's drunk driving. So he was orphaned. Danner lived at a Catholic orphanage until his aunt returned from Europe to assume custody of the boy and his best friend, Daniel Tolliver. Returning to the manor of his youth, Danner and Tolliver ran wild until his overwhelmed aunt granted permission to the groundskeeper, Kwai Chi. I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce this. Kwichi. But this could be one of those things where there are two separate pronunciations. I think it is Kwai Chi. I think it's Kwai Chi. But to teach the boys discipline, studying the martial arts alongside Chi's son, Li Chi. Danner, sorry, it's really hard to say those words, or say those names. Danner matured into a responsible man. I actually kind of take a little bit of that, to heart, because I grew up, and when I was like this real lanky kid, and then I started taking martial arts when I was 13, and that's right as when, like, you're already getting some growth spurts, but that's when like the major stuff hits, like you start getting muscle mass. So it worked wonders for me. And it changed who I was, because I was able to get more confident. And maybe that's what happened to him to mature into a responsible man. But inseparable, the three young men, so that's Danner, Tolliver, and Chi, were unstoppable in martial arts tournaments. One night, Jack saw a hawk attack an owl and stepped in to defend it, injuring himself in the process. Kwai said that he was now gifted and cursed, that he became the hawk and the owl. Eventually, Jack, James, and Lee joined the military and attended college together. Traveling the world to learn from the greatest martial artists, including Shaolin monks, a Navy SEAL, a former Delta Force commander, and a former Weapon X commander, Danner eventually returned to Chicago, and when reading about how bad crime had become in Chicago, he decided to use his skills to battle crime as the vigilante Hawk Owl. Not gonna lie, if any of my listeners are from Chicago, how is it over there? Is it as bad as the media wants us to think? Because I'll be honest, I've seen stuff, reports and stuff, and I have no interest in going to Chicago. I went to Chicago maybe 7-8 years ago, and I was in one part, and it was all right, but I wasn't there to like sightsee. I was there for doing photography at the time. So I was there for like an assignment, and I had to stay in one specific area. But I don't know. Let me know if any of you guys are from Chicago. If any of you guys have visited frequently, and I mean, like, don't tell me about the one time you went. Well, even if you did, tell me. Go to YouTube. Go find me under Superhero Deep Dive and leave a message in the comments. It'd be great. We'll have a conversation about it. Anyways, let's see here. So sometime after becoming Hawk Owl, Jack decided he needed a sidekick. After saving the lives of the orphans who grew up in the same orphanage he spent time in, he decided to return to the orphanage and adopt one of the boys as his son. There he met Hank Kipple. Though brash, assertive, defensive, and obnoxious, Jack adopted him anyway as he believed he showed promise. After his first day of school, Hank saw the flying car pass him again and found the nest. So this is Hank Kipple, the guy that's going to be his quote-unquote Robin. Alright, Hawk Owl, he found the nest, which is Hawk Owl's secret lair, as opposed to a cave. After his first finding out Jack is Hawk Owl, Hank was chosen to be his sidekick. Eventually, Jack was approached by the Ultimates to join their team, and in the process, he managed to insult most of the team and fought with Captain America, because that's always smart. Jack declined their offer, saying that his fight was in Chicago, so he wanted to keep it local. Good for him. Good for him. Keep the talent local, right? Alright. When Principal Morgan Jones lost his mind and attacked Hayman Street High School, Jack donned his costume and headed out to fight him. He was overpowered by the principal and Miss Willow. The battle left him in a coma, and he awoke from it in time to save Hank and Tolliver from Jones. After defeating the principal, Hank decided to become his sidekick Woody. Their first act together as a team was stopping a mugging at gunpoint of a family in an alley outside of a movie theater playing The Mask of Zorro, which leads us right back around to Batman. So that's kind of funny. And I always took Gotham City to be Chicago. It always had that same kind of vibe from like the 1940s mob movies that always centered around Chicago. Maybe, I don't know. Am I being facetious with it? I don't know. You guys let me know. But that's his history. So like had a real short history. He wasn't in a lot. So it's really hard to find. So thanks, Anton, for that, because I spent a lot of time looking over the same information, trying to pull more stuff, and I just couldn't. So let's get to his powers. Hawk-Owl is a highly trained fighter, extremely agile and acrobatic, and very accurate with thrown weapons. In fact, he's one of the top 3 fighters on the world of the Ultimate Marvel community. He's versatile in many forms of martial arts and has learned some sort of Asian pain control technique as well, which makes him very durable and tough. That probably came from Shaolin. They're famous for that. Jack wears an armored costume with night vision lenses in the helmet and carries many gadgets. These include bolas, throwing disc, and customized handcuffs, as well as a device that makes owls attack on command. He usually travels using a flying car. He's a master martial artist. Danner is exceptionally skilled in hand-to-hand combat, claiming that he is one of the top experts in the field, and this has been somewhat proven by being able to spar equally with Captain America, who's a known martial arts master and also has in strength, durability, strength, agility, and endurance. So if he's able to hold his own against someone that is physically superior in every way, that's pretty awesome. He's a skilled detective. Danner is a good detective with broad knowledge and understanding of the criminal underworld. This has been proven by finding a 6-month-old kidnapped baby that had been missing for weeks and finding a $200 million crack distribution plant. He's an expert marksman. He's been depicted as being ambidextrous in this respect, and he is skilled in projectile and knife throwing. He's also a weapons master and is adept at nearly every weapon ever invented, ranging from swords, sticks, chains, and projectiles. And he also received U.S. Navy SEAL training, which makes him a demolitions expert. He's an expert tactician, and Hawk-Owl has single-handedly stopped 4 burglaries, 2 liquor store holdups, 7 muggings, and 1 political kidnapping in one night without a scratch. It is his military training and his attention to detail that allows him to achieve this. He did not hesitate to let people know. So those are his powers or skills. Yeah, it's pretty cool, pretty standard, right? Pretty Batman-esque, if you say. All right, so fun facts. Hawk-Owl is a copy of DC Comics Batman, and multiple references to Batman iconography and characters are made throughout Ultimate Adventures Volume 1. And according to Tony Stark, who knew Danner as they had been in the same ultra-rich Playboy circles, Jack was known to have a history of ultra-liberal, near-flag-burning activism. I don't know, guys. We'll let that be at that. Alright, but what do you guys think? That was his powers, fun facts, history. He's a pretty interesting character, right? He's almost like Tony Stark in a lot of ways, like in the Iron Man movies at least, where he was kind of gallivanting around doing his own thing. And then something happens that makes him start getting serious, and then he becomes this big force, right? Only without the armor. But let me know. Like I said, you can email me directly at b4itall, so b4itall@yahoo.com. You can catch me under Twitter and Instagram under superdeepdive, and I use the hashtag superherodeepdive. And you can catch me on YouTube under superherodeepdive, where, you know, like I said, if you have any comments, questions, critiques, requests for future episodes, I have a lot of requests, which are great. And I would absolutely love it if you subscribed, liked, and all that good stuff, and help me grow the channel. I've been doing a lot with superhero memes. I've also just released other videos as well. I think there's one, I've got so many like that are ready to come out, but they'll come out on Fridays. I have one that I found an artist that did a bunch of superheroes as owls. So I did that in preparation for Hawk-Owl. Anton, I hope you picked up on that. Also, I've got the Marvel swimsuit edition. So I have a bunch of Marvel heroes in swimsuits. I've got one of superhero dinosaurs coming up. Yeah, just fun stuff like that. But I would really appreciate it if they were liked, if they were watched, and all that good stuff. But anyways, let's get to my favorite part. This is the power expansion. So this is like, what would you do with the character if you could do something with the character? Do they need a comic series? Do they need a movie, an animated series, a live action series like on Netflix or Hulu or Amazon Prime or whatever else? You know, what would you do? So yeah. First of all, I want to thank Anton for the request again. This was definitely a doozy. Hawk-Owl is at a distinct disadvantage though of basically being a Batman ripoff in a world full of superhero movies. Because of this, I feel, at least in the MCU, he's nothing more than a background character. And I'm not diminishing the character, I'm just saying in the current climate. But saying that, he could be one hell of a background character. Like the Marvel Universe seems to have, as a whole, has seemed to fully embrace superheroes, magic, and the existence of the unknown. So with that being said, there's plenty of room for everyday people to come up with a costume and try to right the wrongs around them. So if anything, I see Hawk-Owl as a cameo or an Easter egg, and a great one at that for the fans to find. Because like I said, I've been into comic books all my life. One of my favorite things to do was at least when they first started coming out. When I'm saying this, I'm talking about like the X-Men movies back in the 90s, like late 90s, early 2000s. I would have to watch them multiple times because the first time I watched it, I'd have to try to find all the like hidden characters. Second time I actually got to watch it for like the story. Like my wife wouldn't even watch superhero movies with me for a while because I would ruin it. By telling her the characters, and then she'd get lost in that and listening to me as opposed to what the story is. So it was always real weird. So I think he would be a great Easter egg because he's very not known. But like, what if there were tryouts for the Avengers and they read the last name Danner, and you would see like part of his costume walking by to answer the call. Like you don't even see him as a full character. You just see part of it to like tease people, right? Like, I think the fans of the Ultimate Universe would go crazy about this because they would know. And then you'd see all these other videos coming out on YouTube after a day or two talking about them. But remember, it was my idea first. So take that. But the character, you know, seems to be pretty well done. But, you know, we gotta be honest though. If he shows up in any formal capacity in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I'm talking about shows as well, he's just going to get ripped apart by the fans as a Batman ripoff. His origin's a bit different, but, you know, even if we look at the movie Brightburn, which I love, I thought it was pretty cool. It still got torn apart because of the parallels with Superman. So, you know, like, we've got to be careful. And we've just hit that point of saturation in the comic book superhero entertainment, I guess, community is a good way to put it. Where if anything that's kind of a copy of something else is gonna get ripped apart unless it has like a deeper base. Like where they have like, there's a whole history, like, with Hawkeye and Green Arrow, for instance, there's a deeper base for both those characters. So they were kind of left on their own. They were left alone. But we have plenty of these situations where that's not always the case, right? So we gotta do something. We gotta take care of it. But yeah, that's where I stand on this. I just don't think that Hawkeye has a deeper base. So anything that's done with him is just gonna seem like a ripoff of Batman because people just don't know him, and it really sucks. But it is the way it is right now. But what do you guys think? I would love to hear your feedback on this, especially Anton, since it was his character, it's his idea. But let me know. Like I said, leave a comment in the video. Send me a message on Twitter or Instagram under superdeepdive. Send me an email at b4itall@yahoo.com. And that's B, the number 4, it all. So b4itall@yahoo.com. But let me know what you think. I would love to hear your opinions. And if you have any future episode requests, let me know, because these are fun. Right now, I have a lot going, but there's someone did request Ambush Bug. That's on the list. I got a request for Flatline. Huntress, Cassie Sandmark, Marrow, Spiral, Strong Guy. I got a request for the New Universe. I'll be honest, New Universe is going to take some time. I'm kind of holding off on that one because that one is going to be time consuming. I might need to take a day off from my day job to do that one. But guys, let me know what you think. Well, I'm going to get off here for now. Sorry it's shorter than usual, but this was a really obscure character with a very limited background. So, we gotta do what we gotta do, right? But I hope everyone has a great week coming up. I hope everyone is blessed. I hope everyone is happy. I hope everyone is safe. And I hope everyone is smart. And if you're not smart, don't get caught. See you guys next week. Bye-bye.